Skardu is one of the most beautiful valleys in northern Pakistan. It has incredible mountains, it is the gateway to some of the highest mountains in the world, has beautiful lakes, deserts, and as is usually the case in Pakistan, this place also has really fascinating culture and history. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Laura and I've been traveling the world for the past few years. On this channel I share lots of travel vlogs, hidden gems and lots of travel info, so make sure you subscribe if you want more of that, but for now let's go back into the video. Welcome to Skardu in northern Pakistan. So this valley is one of the most beautiful in Baltistan, and even though I arrived yesterday, I'm just seeing it now because I arrived at night, so it was super dark. And also the road leading into Skardu, it's one of the scariest roads that I've ever been to in my life because the mountains are so close by. They look almost like they're about to eat up the road, and it's really imposing and a bit scary. Lots of landslides there as well. But now that I'm seeing this place is beautiful. I'm in Lower Kachura Lake right now. It's also known as Shangrila Lake, and let me show you around. So Lower Kachura Lake is a lake in Skardu that became somewhat Instagram famous a few years ago because if you look at the lake from above, it has the shape of a heart, so it's a little heart-shaped lake, which is really cute, and there were lots of photos of it going around. But this lake is also known as Shangrila Lake because of a resort that is by its shore, which is called the Shangrila Resort. So this is the resort that I'm showing you right now with all the flowers and the beautiful building, and you can either stay at this resort or you can get a day pass, which is what I chose to do. So the day pass was pretty inexpensive. I think it was 1,000 Pakistani rupees, but I'm not super sure about that, so don't quote me on that. And the name Shangrila actually means heaven on earth in Tibetan language, which I thought was really cool. So this is Lower Kachura Lake. It's known as Shangrila Lake because of this resort that we're at. I'm here with a day pass, so you can just go in, pay, I think it's 1,000 Pakistani rupees, and just go into this beautiful place for the day. So the view of those mountains over there is gorgeous, and that right there is the resort. You'll see it has this Chinese style to it, so that's why it's known as Shangri-La. Something that I also found really interesting is that the whole Skardu region was part of the cultural sphere of Buddhist Tibet as early as the founding of the Tibetan Empire in the mid-7th century CE, and you can find lots of Tibetan tantric scriptures all over Baltistan. And Skardu was part of Tibet until around the 9th or 10th century when it became part of the Makbon kingdom, and I'm really hoping I'm saying that right. I don't know if I am. But in the 10th century, it became part of the Makbon kingdom along with all of Baltistan, which is the southern part of Gilgit-Baltistan. Skardu remained under the Makbon dynasty for around 700 years, and the Makbon dynasty is a Balti royal house. So the Baltis are an ethnic group that are present in Skardu, and during this time the kings of the Makbon dynasty actually extended the frontiers of Baltistan to as far as Gilgit and Chitral in the north and Ladakh in the south. Skardu was a majoritarily Buddhist valley for most of this time until the 14th century when Muslim scholars from Kashmir crossed Baltistan's mountains to spread Islam. So this actually reminds me a lot of Hunza Valley, which is a valley that I visited further north in Pakistan, where Islam actually got there in the 15th century, and before that it was also a mostly Buddhist valley. So I made a whole video on Hunza and its really fascinating history that, I don't know, I think it's really good. I think Hunza is a fascinating place historically, so make sure you check that video out if you like the history of northern Pakistan, if you find history interesting. Anyways, after the introduction of Islam into Skardu and Baltistan in the 14th century, something really interesting happened. So in the early 1500s, a sultan from China, Sultan Said Khan, raided Baltistan, and this caught the attention of an empire further south, which was the Mughal Empire. So the Mughal Empire straddled modern-day Pakistan and India, which, if you know anything about Pakistan and India today, you know that these two countries do not like each other. They have lots of land conflicts, border conflicts, and anyways, messy politics over there. I'm not gonna talk much about the issue, but the raid from the Sultan from China caught the attention of the Mughals. So the Mughals decided to conquer Baltistan in 1586. And so the Makbon rulers had to pledge allegiance, and from that point onwards, the kings of Skardu were mentioned as the rulers of Little Tibet, which I think is really interesting that they call it Little Tibet. It makes a lot of sense, but it's still really interesting. So after visiting Shangrila Lake, we also went to a place called Upper Kachura Lake, which was also very beautiful, and from there we went to Katpana Cold Desert. So there are a number of cold deserts like this in Skardu, basically a really sandy desert in the middle of the mountains, which is so cool and makes for such a unique landscape. And we stayed in a hotel here called Glamp, Pakistan, so let me show you around. This is the room that we're staying at in Skardu, and it is so cool. You've got these two little steps into the little bed area. It's kind of like a tent. I mean, this is glamping, so luxury camping technically. And you go down here. You've got this amazing view of the valley. The desert is on the other side. You've also got air conditioning and the bathroom. Everything looks amazing. We've even got the menu here with everything that you can order. It's in the room, and they've even got vegan, which is not that common in Pakistan. A lot of the dishes aren't really vegan or vegetarian friendly, so that's really nice. I mean, I'm not vegan, but if you're vegan, this place is good for you. The bathroom, they also give you all of these things. So this is a comb. This looks like it's a toothbrush. Yeah, it's a dental kit. This is another one. I think this is, yeah, vanity kit. There's soap over here. And yeah, a few. This is shampoo for the shower. I don't really know what this is. This is shower gel. And yeah, this one I don't know. I can't read that. But that's really nice. So I had a great time in Glamp, Pakistan. The rooms were fantastic and the food was also really good too. So I had this fried trout with chips while I was there, which was so delicious. It filled me up so nicely. And I also had this dessert. I think it was called Suji Walnut Halwa, but I'm not completely sure about that. And this hotel has incredible views of the whole of Skardu Valley and the Indus River. I loved watching this at sunset and also the views in the other direction with these snowy peaks right at the end. And it's also right next to the desert, which is the really cool thing about this place. The desert is just so unique. You can see glaciers from the hotel. You can also go up to the desert and do a bonfire. And you can also do lots of other activities like archery in this cold desert. Something else that is also really cool about Skardu that I haven't told you about is that it's actually the gateway to climb some of the highest mountains in the world. So there are 14 mountains in the world, which are all located in Asia, that are over 8,000 meters, and they're the highest in the world, so that includes mountains like Everest, and 5 of those 14 peaks are located in Pakistan. So one of those mountains I've already talked about, and that is Nanga Parbat. So Nanga Parbat is a bit separate from the other 4 8,000 plus meter mountains in Pakistan. It's all by itself and you can get a great view of it from a place called Fairy Meadows. And if you're traveling to northern Pakistan, Fairy Meadows is just one of those places that you just have to visit. So if you want to know more about Fairy Meadows and Nanga Parbat, make sure you watch the vlog that I posted about it. It's a really cool vlog. Personally, I think it's one of my favorites that I've created. It shows a really, really beautiful place, but it's also very informative because Fairy Meadows, even though it's a place that you have to go to if you're in the region, it's very hard to get to. It's a very remote place. So you definitely need to do your research if you're planning to go there. But anyways, Nanga Parbat is accessible from Fairy Meadows, but the other 4 mountains, which are K2, G1, G2 and Broad Peak, are all accessible from Skardu. There isn't a road that will take you to those mountains. You have to trek, but the trekking starts in Skardu Valley. So this is Katpana Cold Desert, which is amazing. All of these sand dunes with the mountains behind, and then this valley right here. It's just amazing. And all of these little cabins that you see are the hotel we're staying at, Glamp, Pakistan, and ours is one of those. I think it's that one right there. Then the mountains, they're incredible. And a minute ago, there was a rainbow over there as well, over those peaks. Also, this desert, it looks spectacular now, but I've seen some photos of it in winter when it snows and all of the mountains have snow on them and the sand dunes as well. And it looks amazing. I mean, it looks incredible right now as it is. But part of me wishes to come back here in winter and see it with snow. Having a great time here in Skardu. Honestly, I was very pleasantly surprised by this place because I wasn't sure that I was going to like it when I arrived. I wasn't sure that I was going to like the lakes. I wasn't sure that I was going to like the desert, but this place is amazing. I mean, just look at these views. It's incredible. And tomorrow we're going to Deosai National Park, which is one of the things that I've been looking forward to the most in this trip. So make sure you subscribe and you stay tuned for that.